even Terence Bud Crawford agrees with me. I've been saying Shakur's got to let his hands go. He had a good performance against Artem. I'm just saying, to really put that stellar performance, that stamp on his performance against Artem Khartounian, he should have let his hands go a little bit more, shown us a little bit more of a balance between that defense and the offense, show us that you're a well-rounded fighter. And I think as good as Shakur Stevenson performed, I think we're all just thinking about what's inevitable, you know, that Tank Davis fight, and Bud Crawford in the locker room told Shakur Stevenson, you know, you should have jabbed your way in and, you know, cut off the ring a little bit better and let your hands go. And I think that's what I was saying too. I just think that Shakur Stevenson, as good as he is defensively, he's a little bit, I'm not gonna say there's no such thing as too much defense, right? But there's also there also has to be a balance between defense and offense, and I think Shakur is just lacking a little bit in the offensive department, where, you know, he could be really beating these guys up. And I'm not saying that he didn't, you know, outclass Artem. He definitely did that. They look like two different levels, you know, facing each other. Shakur's just on that higher level, where Artem just had nowhere to match Shakur in any area. So that's something that we kind of knew was going to happen, but I think we were all waiting for Shakur to kind of turn that switch a little bit and get into another gear, where I think he was just more so fighting at the same pace, turned it up a few times, but just didn't step on the gas the way I expected him to. That's why I was saying that he should have let his hands go a little bit more, showcased a little bit more of that hand speed, the offensive ability. You know, that's what I was saying. I wasn't saying, you know, Shakur is boring, this and that. I just think he didn't show us that killer that he claims to be. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's always another opportunity for other big fights out there. And, you know, the Tank Davis fight for Shakur Stevenson's a big fight. Lomachenko's a big fight. So hopefully he gets one of those big names at 35. Zepeda's there as well. Maybe he could fight Frank Martin at 140. Who knows? These are all big fights for Shakur Stevenson. But I really do want to see the Tank fight at some point, and I think it will go down. It's all a matter of, you know, will Shakur Stevenson be prepared? It's like, you know, he has to be perfect. You think about it, it's like, who really has more room for error? Who has more room for error? Who can make more mistakes? And I think that Tank Davis can, but Shakur can't because of the power. That's what makes it more of a difficult fight for Shakur. It's not only a difficult fight to win in a boxing match, but it's also a dangerous fight for him. You know, where Shakur may beat Tank, but Tank's not afraid of Shakur Stevenson. He's not afraid of the worst possible outcome, because Shakur's not going to stop Tank, but Tank could stop Shakur very well. So, you know, it's a very well and very possible outcome. So I understand Shakur Stevenson, you know, he's figuring out the free agency stuff right now. Maybe he's already made a decision by now, but it's all about, you know, being intelligent when fighting Tank Davis. You know, he knows that though, and I just think he has to be very careful. You have to be very careful, and that goes without being said, but everybody's fallen victim to, you know, when Tank turns it up, when he has that confidence. Is Shakur Stevenson going to be able to keep that distance the whole fight? That's really what I'm concerned about, because Tank Davis has power and Shakur just doesn't have what it takes to, you know, really get the respect from a power perspective. But he has that boxing ability and that strong understanding of, you know, the distance, the measurement to keep him away. But, you know, the power isn't there to really get the respect. So I just see, you know, a lot of people like to talk about how, you know, Tank can't give up rounds against Shakur Stevenson, can't download the information early on. Who said he's going to do that? You know, I don't think Tank is going to really take that risk and give up a lot of rounds. I think round one, round two, you're already going to see Tank going at him, and I think it's going to be less of a chess match. And the only way it becomes a chess match is if Shakur Stevenson forces it to be one, if he really frustrates Tank Davis and imposes his will at 140. I expect him to be the bigger guy at 140, but he's definitely not the bigger puncher. So I'm definitely going to lean towards Tank. And it's no disrespect to Shakur Stevenson. I think that, you know, Tank is just in a place where he's very strong mentally, where Shakur Stevenson, it seems like on social media, he's letting everything, all the comments get to his head, where he just has to, you know, focus on himself and just ignore the hate, because people are going to hate on you no matter what. And I think he's looking at a lot of boxers, a lot of people analyzing the sport and taking it personally. Like, people are just saying how they feel. Boxing's a sport the same way basketball's a sport, and boxing is an art. You know, people are allowed to interpret your fight, you know, your fighting style as they please. They can say you're boring, they can say you're exciting. You know, the art is up for interpretation the same way, you know, a sport is an art. You know, we can interpret how we want. So if we think Shakur is boring, don't take it personally. Just keep winning. Do your thing. That doesn't mean that you're not a great fighter. It's just you know, a lot of people may not want to watch you. I'm going to continue to watch you, but you can't blame other fans for not wanting to watch you if they just simply don't enjoy your fighting style and they enjoy Tank's more, because people are attracted naturally to knockouts, to these exciting performances where guys are getting put to sleep. And with Shakur Stevenson, obviously people are investing time. That's why he's getting a lot of hate right now. It's not because Shakur Stevenson's a bad person. Nobody thinks that. We all, you know, real ones know how good Shakur Stevenson is, but he's going to continue to get the hate as long as, you know, he allows people to affect him on social media, because every time he's answering fans, people that don't even matter, he's giving them attention and stuff like that. So obviously people are gonna, you know, expect big outcomes from him, and people are investing their time on Saturday nights to watch him. And I feel like that's a big reason why, because they're expecting these big performances. And you know, seeing people walk out of Shakur's fight in Newark, I'm from Jersey, and I know Newark people, they're just, you know, they tell it how it is, and they do it with their actions. So you saw people leave the arena. They said, I have better things to do than to watch Shakur get his hand raised. And people like to say, oh, you know, they already knew that he won, so that's why they were leaving. Bro, you don't, if you really love a Newark kid, you really love a Newark fighter, and you want to show your pride and support for them, you're not going to leave before they get their hand raised. That's just facts. You know, you don't have to stay for the interview, but at least watch the decision actually get announced. You know, they weren't even willing to do that. So that just shows that Shakur Stevenson, you know, doesn't have the love in Newark like he thinks he does from a lot of fans. And that's fine. Maybe he has a lot of haters in his own hometown, but as long as he continues to win, it really shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't affect him. But he also can't get mad at people for, you know, not enjoying, you know, the way he fights. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion about who they like to watch fight and who they don't like watching, and that's just a fact. You know, I like watching Shakur. I'm going to continue to watch all his fights, but I'm not mad at people who, you know, don't like it. Maybe it's just not their cup of tea. They don't have to watch Shakur fight if they don't want to. But, you know, everyone calling him boring, this and that, you're entitled to your own opinion, but at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson just has to man up and forget about all that stuff. Stop entertaining the people that are going at you, calling you boring and trying to make you angry, because they're doing that for a reason. They're trying to get under your skin. So, you know the real ones. You should only value the opinions of people you really respect and care about. If, you know, guys like Bud Crawford are telling you to let your hands go, add it to the arsenal. That doesn't mean, you know, you're a bad person. I think he's just taking a lot of stuff very personally, and I think when a guy like Bud tells you to just let your hands go and use your jab a little bit more, I think, you know, just add it to the arsenal, get back in the lab and make those adjustments. It doesn't have to be a big thing where you start saying, you know, I don't respect this guy, I don't respect his opinion, pick a side, you're on my nuts, you're doing this and that. I feel like he just has to, you know, just stay concentrated, focus on the goal at hand. You know, you're gonna fight Tank Davis, Lomachenko maybe, so just focus on that. You know, forget everybody else, forget all the outside noise, because at the end of the day, you know, no one can fight for you. You know, you could talk about Terence Crawford, this and that, he's your mentor, he can give you all these tips, but it's up to you to apply it in the ring. And for Shakur Stevenson, we know that he's a great fighter, that he has all the tools, the assets to become undisputed world champ at 35 and maybe even do it at 40, but it's all about, you know, locking in. You can't allow people to get inside your brain, and obviously, judging from everything I'm seeing on social media from Shakur Stevenson, he's paying a lot of attention to what people are saying about him online, where he can't do that. If he continues to do that, he's going to go crazy. And, you know, you see what's going on between him and Tim Bradley. You can't take it personal. Tim's just giving his evaluation on the fight. You know, he's a professional. He's done it before. So you can't really hate on him for having his own opinion. Like I said, boxing's an art, and everybody's allowed to interpret it the way they want to. If they don't like watching Shakur Stevenson, you know, that's their opinion and they're entitled to it. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Go watch Tank Davis and only Tank Davis. I'm going to watch both of them because I appreciate what they both do. But, you know, I can understand where people find Tank Davis more exciting because he's getting these knockouts, where Shakur Stevenson, he's outclassing guys, but it's a little less fun to watch when it's not a knockout. You know, knockouts are exciting to see, and I understand that. So I understand where people interpret Shakur Stevenson as a little bit boring, but hey, if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, you don't have to watch Shakur Stevenson if you don't want to. You can do something else, but he's a great fighter. That's why you're going to continue to see him on big stages, but it's all about, you know, can he hold on to, you know, that when he's facing guys like Tank Davis and Vasily Lomachenko, where they're pushing the pressure. He's going to have to show us that offensive, you know, firepower that he's got, that talent. He has to show that he's a little bit more well-rounded, like like Bud is saying, use your jab more. It's a great jab, and also use that hand speed, because if he's got it, then it'll show. You know, it should show the hand speed. He should put that all on display, especially if it's against a guy that's not on your level, and Artem wasn't on his level. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis, who you guys got. I got Tank, but let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFIGHT Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.